As you can see, I've got lots of drill bits and I need to make some sort of index or storage system for them to go in my drawer so that they're stored a bit more conveniently. However, this is not that video. To make the index, I need a good awl so that I can mark all the locations that I'm going to drill out. So today I'm going to make an awl out of an old Imperial kind of rusty drill bit. This is a 3/8 inch spade bit. So let's get to it. For the most part, I needed to reshape the drill bit to remove the spurs and give it much more of a point. I started off with the benchtop belt sander and that started to shape it okay, but a much more sensible option was to use the bench grinder, which did a much better job of it. However, in the interest of stupidity, I chucked up the drill bit and spent it on the bench sander. This worked okay, but not great. I cut some copper pipe to use as a ferrule. Over at the lathe, I drilled out a hole that matched the shank size of the drill bit into a chunk of blackwood. Then I rounded the plank a little and turned down a section for the ferrule to go on. To make it a little easier to insert the ferrule, I used a deburring tool to take off the burr that formed when I cut it off. After that was done, I mixed up some 5-minute epoxy and glued on both the ferrule and the drill bit. You might think I'm a bit stupid for gluing in the drill bit before shaping and finishing the awl, but in this particular instance I'm not quite as stupid as I look. We recently got a collet chuck, and if you've not seen these before, it screws onto the lathe like a 4-jaw chuck, but then you use a series of collets to tighten down on the workpiece, much like you would with a router. In this case, once the glue was dried, I clamped down on the ferrule, mounted it on the lathe and was able to get turning. Mounting it this way was a bit easier than mounting it using a 4-jaw chuck. It didn't stick out quite as much. The chuck didn't stick out quite as much, so it didn't seem as dangerous. And I didn't have to use a tailstock if I was to turn it between two centres. Because this is a shop project for a pretty basic tool that usually gets chucked in the bottom of the drill, I didn't bother with sanding or putting on a perfect finish. I hand rubbed on some Aussie oil, which is easy to reapply when it eventually becomes damaged. I would have just used shellac, but I'm out of the premix stuff at the moment. Thanks for watching.